So I'll be presenting about global projects that have been done with ROS and ROS 2. And you all got a good overview of the local projects that were done at University of Moratuwa. And we thought it would be really informative and fruitful to also discuss these global projects as well, in addition to that. One thing to talk about was this last project recently won a big competition as well. It's on the NTC website. If you guys want, you can read about this project as well. Yeah. So let's go. The first project that I want to present is this project done by ClearPath Robotics. It's actually a product, unmanned ground vehicle called JACKAL. And it's a very fast moving robotics features research platform. And it has also been equipped with all these cool features. It's got like this manipulator, LiDAR sensor, GPS, and stereo camera. And it's an all-terrain and weatherproof device, as you can see, and it's quite neat. And ClearPath Robotics, if I remember correctly, is actually located here in Canada, in Waterloo, and it's a startup that came out of University of Waterloo. And then this robot, it's a very handy robot, you can see. It's used in warehouses for automatic picking and placing, and it's called Fetch, developed by Fetch Robotics. And you can see that this robot also is available in ROS, extensively uses the ROS platform. And it's got this rangefinder IMU system, as well as this short range RGBD sensor for like the color detection as well. And then I have some humanoid robots as well. And this cool robot here is called Talos. A very successful company designs these robots called PAL Robotics from Europe. And sorry, I think I forgot to share sound. Sorry for that. I think you can hear the sound now. Yeah. You can see this robot is actually the size of a human and or around the weight of a human as well, which is pretty nice. And you can read about this robot and its simulation model here. And you can see it's been developed for a long time, and they've like really innovated and mastered a lot of the aspects that go into humanoid robot development. So it's a great company and really leading humanoid robotics developing company in the world right now. So this is a cool project called Atlas that was done by University of Hong Kong for the DARPA Robotics Challenge. This one is a little bit heavier than your typical human, and also a little bit more robust in terms of a humanoid robot. And it's quite based on ROS as well. And you can see all these simulations and the work that has been gone into Atlas, and quite a complicated humanoid robot, if I would say.
GateX is proud to announce the release of
this is actually a really interesting ROS project. This came from this company GateX, and it's called GateX Copter or Gapter for short. And it has the ability to flow indoor, outdoor, and do lots of mapping and sensing as well. So you can see that this one has its X-Hawk control platform, this Odroid single board computer, the laser scanner, and it has 4G internet connectivity as well. So it's pretty nice. I think one person had this question about IoT on ROS platforms. So these kinds of platforms definitely would be ideal for supporting such a case study as well. Yeah, so this is a nice example I found that I wanted to introduce. This Shadow Hand is developed by this company called Shadow Robotics. And the nice thing is this hand has been used in many different open AI and machine learning case studies, mainly by OpenAI and Google Brain. OpenAI is actually a company that was founded by Elon Musk, and Google Brain is kind of the AI department in Google. And you can see that this arm is doing this really cool task here. It's called solving a Rubik's Cube with a robotics hand. That was the experiment that we were working on. And there's this nice article. Sorry, are you able to see this? Okay, right. I think I made it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this is the article that I was presenting, solving Rubik's Cube with a robot hand. And they have like a lot of nice outlines about the project that they did. And there's the sequence that this robot actually follows. So it's completely solving the the Rubik's Cube by itself, with some image processing work going on the back, but all the controlling or the like commands that are being sent from the AI algorithm back to the robot, so that it like manipulates the Rubik's Cube accurately. These like shining dots there are actually the pointers that I'm talking about. These are captured by a camera and then sent into this reinforcement algorithm that manipulates this arm. So it's really cool, right? The things that ROS is working on. And then to add like even more to the excitement, ROS in space is like the next up and coming thing that you are probably waiting to expect or witness. And this one really speaks about the effect or the impact that ROS has had in the research and industry, because sending ROS to space, or like NASA adapting ROS, is a really big confirmation that how important this operating system or this software is. And it's only been less than almost a decade since this was like introduced to the world. So I have a slide on that as well. And this last
ROS,
slide is
robot
about
operating system, has been applied in many robotics applications.
This challenge called the DARPA Subterranean Challenge, and how a lot of teams around the world took part in this competition, and they actually developed their own solution robots to solve this challenge, and also in the process use ROS. So it's something similar to what some of you may be doing in SLRC as well, and really exciting that these kinds of things are happening around the world simultaneously. One more thing about robots, two actually. So this is.
Hey, I'm Dave from ROS Robotics.
I think you actually know this
here
robot,
with a different black and yellow
Boston
robot.
Dynamics.
This is Spot from Boston Dynamics, and we're
it's
happy to announce that we've released a ROS driver and
robots that came in the
so you'll be able to use
decade.
Spot on ROS. The same
and
as
you can see that they have developed the ROS Spot package. And
leverage widely available
you have all the functionalities
and the greater
tools that you need to use
robotics development
Spot in ROS package right now. So you can check out this video, it's really cool. And the things that ROS can do, actually Spot can do, is really cool. I can even like do dances for different songs. There's lots of videos by Boston Dynamics on that. So you can check that out when you have time. But the really interesting thing is they have actually Spot is actually a $74,000 robot, but China has actually been in the game of designing their own quadruped robot called Cyberdog, and they like really brought the cost down to 1,500 USD, and probably these will sell like off the shelf really intensively, and like I think like any home can probably afford this kind of a Cyberdog robot. So it's very exciting to see what will happen once these robots get commercialized. And it also supports all the navigation, mapping, and obstacle avoidance functions. And since it's adapting Ubuntu, Cyberdog supports ROS as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to what's happening in terms of that. So all these projects and projects you can do yourself are available in books like this. So this is called ROS Robotics Projects. It's a book by Packet Publishing. You can check the link here. And they have their own project repository. And through this book, there are 14 ROS projects that you can actually implement without a lot of hardware requirements, very ideal for people who are like getting started with ROS. And not like to mention that this website, the Construct, is kind of probably the leading ROS course platform that is available out there. So definitely we are using the GUI today for the hands-on session, something all of you really should be looking forward to. Definitely attend this session and learn about the Construct and what they do in the ROS domain. Okay, so I have probably a little more slides left, 2 minutes worth of slides. The main thing that I wanted to share in this one was, so it's been around 14 years since ROS was introduced in 2009 by some graduate students and university professors and scientists. It was published in this conference called ICRA, the leading conference for robotics. And since then, this paper has been cited more than 10,600 times, a really big number, and has sort of impacted the robotics community very, very much. And today, actually last year, they published the paper on ROS 2 in Journal of Science Robotics. You can see that paper here. Two of the original authors actually are contributing to this paper as well. And like how much this has impacted and how much this is going forward is really evident by the amount of research that it is impacted. More than 10,600 have cited the work as well. So something that has really impacted the robotics community. And just some projects, just to show you that ROS 2 has been implemented already in commercial projects. Mission Robotics has their own ROS 2 supported subterranean, or not submersive robot that goes underwater. There's a platform that supports drones as well, that's based on some ROS 2 support. And also NASA has another project coming up in 2024 called Viper, a volatile investigating polar exploration rover. And it probably is going to be used to eventually locate and concentrate water ice on the moon, and eventually harvest it for human sustaining explorations on the moon, Mars, and beyond. So that's like a huge deal in terms of space exploration development or advancements, and even there ROS is taking part. ROS 2 actually is taking part. Finally, this last project on ROS 2 called Automotors, it's kind of similar to these warehouse robots. Huge market in terms of Amazon and big warehouses are taking advantage of, and even ROS 2 has taken gone into that domain as well. So both the industry research, ROS 2 is creating a lot of excitement and developments. Very nice to see this. Finally, something that most of you might be excited to hear is ROS 2 has actually gone beyond to introduce this called micro-ROS, to put ROS 2 on microcontrollers. So if you have your typical Arduino Pico, or even Raspberry Pi Pico, or even like Arduino, you can actually use ROS 2 stack to implement certain different projects on your Arduino. So here's a little example. You can go into your micro-ROS website. There's a lot of information there about why they've developed it. But under the tutorials, you can see under demos, there's some nice, you can actually learn about micro-ROS here as well. And there's some nice demos available, like this Kobuki robot. And it actually uses the STM32 microcontroller. But the nice thing is they actually have kind of like a client-server connectivity between these two, the software and the actual robot. And these are things that are related to that question. One person asked about IoT support, I guess, on ROS. Having these kinds of functionalities definitely allows you to go for that. And even more exciting, this also has edge impulse demo, which means that you can use edge computing or like edge AI, like doing machine learning work on the edge microcontrollers itself, but then also using the micro ROS stack to integrate AI on your ROS platforms as well. So you can so you can publish the results that you get from your edge microcontrolling models, and then use ROS to publish that information to your robots framework. So that's probably like what you ideally want in terms of developing this forward. So I think that was a short session I wanted to do about global projects and where ROS is going. And as Dr. Peshala mentioned, ROS has now been taken under the wing of Intrinsic, a company that's owned by Google. So Open Robotics and ROS will be going forward, but ROS and Gazebo will stay independent under the OSRF. So it's quite exciting to see what's going to happen in the future in this domain.